Hey there. This prototype is one of the earliest abstract prototypes from really early in development on The Sims 3. And this particular prototype was the first in a series of experiments that we did under the guise of sort of these one-day game jams. We called them Senseless Prototyping Mondays. And essentially, the way these worked was on Friday, I would throw out a topic that was vaguely Sims related, like emergent behavior or idea formation or propagation or something like that. Sometimes even a little more vague, but it was related to The Sims. And the design team, all of which had engineering degrees at the time anyhow, would go away and we would come up with some crazy way to manifest that topic. And then on Monday, we'd come in and we'd spend the whole day coding, basically prototyping. We were able to use a prototyping framework that we built over the last year or so. So it helped us go a little faster than starting from whole cloth. But it still was kept them really, really simple and really focused. So it was a game jam, but it was a 24-hour, was an 8-hour game jam. So expectations should be appropriate. But then at the end of the day on Monday, we'd all get back together and we would talk about, demo what we'd done, and we talk about the possible, not ramifications, but like how this could work within the game, or how this might impact the design, or what ideas it might have given us. So this particular prototype, Duckwood, was my first prototype in this experimental process from the very first one that we did. And the topic in that particular case was socialization. And here it is. Take a look.
All right, so this is Duckwood. This is, as I mentioned, my first entry in the first round of this sort of experimental prototyping process that we were doing early on in the Sims 3 design and really early development. So basically, what this is a simulation of what I called communal knowledge, or the idea that a collection of people could sort of have a shared memory that they would contribute to and that they would read from. So you can think of that as a belief system, or a collection of neighborhood gossip and rumors. It could be anything like that. But in this case, it takes the form of a witch hunt in a village. So all these little people are villagers. The dude circled in yellow is you. The circled in red is your nemesis. And your goal is to basically get rid of your nemesis, to get them killed. But you can't do anything to them directly. What you can do, your one action, is that you can select someone and call them out as a witch. And then the village will take your word for it, and they will behave accordingly. However, what happens is, after you have called someone a witch, because, spoiler, there are no witches, the whole community, each individual, looks at the person you called a witch, declared a witch, and they look at themselves and they say, okay, well, anything that's other, anything that's different about that person from me is what must make someone a witch. And they vote. And what you end up with then is people identify collectively what they think sort of the witchy signature is. And then over time, they start choosing their own witches based on that collective signature. You can interrupt and choose new fake witches to try to steer their overall belief system of witchiness. But if you're not careful, because this ramps up and gets more hectic, you can start accidentally steering them back towards you, or they might randomly choose somebody who, based on their current view of what makes you a witch, they might choose someone who has several traits in common with you in addition to those witchy traits. And depending on the distribution of traits in the population, and which can change from run to run, depending on how that works, what you could run into is, as the population shrinks, it gets more and more impactful what you do. So more and more exaggerated. So let's give it a shot. So now I'm going to look around here. Let's see. I have a crooked smile, 2 matching small eyes, medium-sized pink head. My nemesis, his color's awfully close, his eyes are awfully close, so I'm going to have to go with his expression and maybe err towards small. So let's see, he's smiling. So let's find somebody smiling and maybe somebody that's closer to his color if I can. Here's somebody here. I'm going to start with this one and work from there. So now you see everybody basically kills the person you called out as a witch. And now they've chosen a witch signature. Now these are the percentages of people who voted for each, but the only one that reached the threshold of communal knowledge was that he was happy, which is good because I'm not happy. I'm smirky. So that'll help. Now they've called out somebody, and that person is happy, which makes sense because that's what they thought made you a witch. But this will also go back into their witch signature. Now that wasn't enough to do anything, so let's see if I can find something that maybe brings the color closer to him. I could pick this one. I don't want to screw up my... Oh no, they found another witch. Smiley's wobbly. Okay, but that's bad because he's round. If wobbly becomes the new signature, that's bad. I'm going to try this one just to see what happens. Ooh, that's awfully close to me. Okay, well, we're not getting a signature because I think these people have too much. Oh, there we go. So now you start to see. So now eye color being green is what makes you a witch. And having an ill temperament, which is the wobbly mouth. So I have a feeling that we're going to get somebody green here, but we might get somebody wobbly. Green is dominating. Yep, we got somebody wobbly and greenish eyes. So as you can see, this will gradually get more complex, and the rate at which you kind of have to play against people's suspicions or their communal beliefs becomes more and more frantic. Now this, in the end, this didn't turn out to be something we used directly. Obviously, we weren't going to burn, well, we burn Sims all the time, I guess. We weren't going to burn witches. But what it did do was it opened up this conversation of an idea of sort of having, in AI terms, you might call it like a blackboard for the neighborhood, so that everybody could be throwing information into this. This person cheated on their girlfriend, throw it up into the communal blackboard, and so on. So that now the whole community might shun them because they, cheated on their girlfriend. We didn't end up getting very far with this in the end because there were higher priorities, but it's something that I think I would like to come back to. A key piece of this, though, to make it effective would be to make sure that people could understand the connection between those things. Without just showing them all of the community knowledge. Or maybe we would. I don't know. We'll see. Some of this will probably make its way into some of my own prototypes and games. But as you can see here, before we wrap it up, their witch signature has evolved quite a bit, and I have a feeling that if I didn't pay attention, it would eventually make its way back to me. That color is awfully similar. But anyway, hope you had fun. You got the idea. This is the kind of stuff that we were doing, and the kind of things that I'll be showing lots and lots of other variants of. Some by me, a lot by me, but also a few by some of my friends and other designers on The Sims. Hope to see you soon.